Alright, this is a video review for this Udyr here, Almighty Udyr. Gold 5 game. First thing I want to look at are the runes and masteries. So it looks like pretty standard stuff here. You're taking attack speed, reds, or quints. AP quints are also fine. You just, if you're going Devour like you did, then attack speed is better. But if you're going for runic echoes, then AP is better. So just, but runes here look fine. Masteries are okay. I would comment I don't like these points here. This is not really, it's only useful, I mean it's good if you're planning on being an aggressive ganker, but it's a little bit less reliable than this one. So like this one, I don't know, I just don't like Merciless all that much, and I definitely don't like Dangerous Game unless you're planning on team fighting a lot. So I would do 6-6-18 with like an Udyr playstyle. Taking the attack speed early is really good, and then taking this exposed weakness really helps out in ganks. This right here, Perseverance, is also a terrible mastery, like super terrible. Insight is just so much better. You should be always taking Insight. I really don't like this. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a step into the game. Speed up the early start. Let me turn off my cheat. So turn onto blue side. Okay, you're standing around here against a Nautilus support. Overall, their level 1 looks like it has good potential. Not great, but good potential. I would like to see this warded, and maybe have Zed ward this, or just Zed stand here. But you definitely need these two entrances to your jungle warded in every game. There's no reason not to. You standing here is just asking their team to path around and come do some stuff that'll screw up your level 1. Okay, that was interesting. Let's see if this pays off. That was a really late invade. Yeah. I think all you're gonna do is just kind of cause some nuisances. Yeah, I mean, it's safe because you guys have the Blitzcrank. You should always be looking to make these aggressive plays as Blitz. I think it was just a little late. If Ezreal and Zed were there, you could have at least blown his flash. All in all, your team gains nothing from that, other than you're literally missing like 6 seconds here on the buff. So Kallista's gonna get some free EXP. That was interesting. You have no reason to back here though, because you're basically full health. With red buff, you actually gain a lot of health regen. You backing here, I don't even think you have enough gold for your next jungle. Okay, you do. So I guess, I don't know. Some junglers who want to rush level 6 will back to get the Talisman Machete because there's extra EXP on both items. I think as Udyr, you might as well do a complete path. So if you have hard time starting on the red side of your jungle with refillable potion, then just get the other potion. But I don't like you backing here. I think you could have easily completed this clear because you have smite. It just came up, so you can smite the wolves. And I don't know. I just don't like it. Okay, and you're refilling your hunter's potion, which is really going to not give you any major benefit. Okay, you need to kind of look around at the map. While you're clearing this, you need to decide where do you want to go. Looks like their jungler just died. No, their top lane just died. So your top lane got a successful solo kill against him, which means their jungler is going to path up here. You, as Udyr's such a strong... He's got such a strong 1v1 in the jungle that if you're not playing to that advantage, then you're really giving up a lot of the champion's strength. So after you clear this blue, I would like for you to go in this tri-brush, and then maybe meet Quinn at her Krugs, or just go in the Tribe Rush, because Quinn is almost certainly going to be coming top very soon. So take this blue and then make a smart aggressive play towards this section of the map. Instead, Annie gets caught. Somehow she... Oh. Zed gets caught, but somehow trades a kill for it. He's gonna die. I think that taking these was a waste of pressure. Not a whole lot you can do, though. There's no reason to join this. Yeah, okay, now you're... So, I think you should have been up here earlier. You would... So she was able to smite her red. If you had done what I had said earlier, which was come up here and make this aggressive play, I think you would have beaten her to her red. You could have gotten this warded and then... I don't know. But at least you kind of made the right decision 20 seconds late. Unfortunately, in the jungle, 20 seconds is what makes the difference between winning and losing. This was a good gank to make. Lulu got outplayed, but that was a good gank to make. That was her fault, not yours. I don't think you should take this. Yeah, I think sometimes I think a lot of times taking the lane creeps screws your laner. She's got super aggressive summoners, and you just made Quinn back. So I think if you push this up to here, you're gonna force Quinn up here to help defend, but she's got no camps up here. So that's why I would say I probably would push this to force our jungler to come top. Just because top is such a useless place for her, because you just kind of swept clean her top jungle. So pushing this is actually fine. Now you should just like maybe take your Gromp and back. Yeah, so you're forcing Quinn top, which is good. Yeah, take your Gromp, take your Wolves, and then back. You've got enough gold now to go finish. Actually, you might not have enough gold because you wasted it on Hunter's Potion. You should be really close to Devour at this point, though. If you're not, then I think you're going to have to take Wraiths to take Devourer. Yeah, see, that's another reason I don't like rushing Hunter's Potion. I don't think Udyr needs it, other than his level 1. Now you're wasting time. Let me go back. Okay, you should... See, I don't know the breakpoint well enough. I'm almost positive this is enough. It should be enough if you didn't have all this, like, 400 gold in here. But I think it's enough. And if it is enough, you should immediately go back. This is not something that you can help. Unless you see Quinn. Actually, Quinn steps on a ward. So maybe this is worth coming to. But he's safe. He can disengage this quickly enough. I think it's about 80%. Like the likelihood of the call being favorable is about 20%. So you have about 80% chance of coming mid being worthless. So you're backing while she steps on a ward. I guess it's good that you noticed that. But Zed's safe. And as soon as Zed comes here and he's safe, you should just back. You don't need... Like, Quinn's not going to force the gank. She's super far behind. I think you should just back on your power spike so that you can start pressuring Dragon or something. Now you're going to take Scuttle, but you're really weak. You only have one jungle item. If I was their Callista, I would come up and kill you. Or at least come up and just take the free Scuttle Crab. But maybe Callista is not aware that you literally have no items whatsoever. So you're really wasting time now. What you could have is already have had your Devourer or Power Spike. Started stacking it. What you're doing is wasting time. You're clearing slower than you should. You're running around slower than you should. You're not gaining free stacks in Devourer. And now you're going to have to back with your red buff, and you're going to waste about 50 seconds of your red buff. So hopefully it makes sense that I was complaining. If I was wrong about the Devourer spike, let's see. You have... Yeah, I think you could have bought it, especially without buying the Hunter's Potion first, but Now you're sitting in... Looks like you're sitting for boots. Okay. You need to go help this. His support's gone, so he's gonna get tower dived if you don't get there. Okay, that was a really good call. I'm gonna go back. You're here, but you're probably looking up here at Ezreal, and you decide to immediately just come straight to Ezreal, and that was such a good call. So you're here for this 2v2, and you are probably gonna get a free kill if you stay. No, Ezreal needs to be killing him. You should have been here. You should have known. You should have known. Okay, that was stupid. You guys are fighting. His exhaust runs out, but he's a dumbass and he's going to attack her instead of this free kill. But what you need to realize is that, like, Blitzcrank is right here, and if they're trying to disengage, Blitzcrank will just pull one of them back. And it's up to you to stay next to Blitzcrank in bear stance to stun whoever he pulls. So you're going to be a pansy and you're going to walk back here, and you're not going to get anything from this. Overall, I think you really screwed this up. Like, you were in the right place, but you were playing like a pansy, and he should have died there. He should have died there. He's not gonna die because you were a pansy, and you're spam pinging them away from a 3v2. This is a favorable fight for you guys that you need to be willing to commit to. He's landed 2 god hooks right now. Like, if you were here not being a little dumbass, they both would have been dead. So, yes, teammates are dumbasses, but half of the time teammates do the right thing, and you need to be there helping them. You just wasted a double kill that you guys could have easily gotten. This is a lost cause. Don't go help her. Don't go help her. You're just going to waste time. Actually, now that he's tower diving... Okay, I didn't mean to speed up or to back up. Okay, now that he's tower diving, this might be worth going to because he's going to be low. You should have been there by now. I mean, I want to look at your pathing. Okay, so right now she's getting tower dived. You decide to go through Tribrush and then decide... You should have just gone straight up anyway. This lack of pathing, you would have already been up here to catch her by now. You got the kill anyway, and now he's probably dead too. He's gonna ult. You need to realize he's up here by now. Oh, okay, that's a stupid ass Rengar. What a wasted teleport. What a wasted Ezreal. You guys are spending so much on this Rengar. Okay, now you just need to focus on farming. Maybe get some vision up because your jungle is like darker than shit. Your whole map is darker than shit. You have zero. Your whole team has 0 wards up except for this one. So you should probably be using your trinkets. Trinket right here. Trinket right here. Okay, before you come here blindly taking this, trinket right here or right here so that you can see them collapse on you. Quinn can outduel Udyr if she's good at kiting, and if I was playing Quinn against an Udyr, I would beat him in a 1v1. So you should have dropped a ward before counter jungling this. You'll probably get out because you have boots and she does not, but I don't think it's worth just even trying to risk it. She's retarded and she tries to go into bird stance. Okay, you need to realize that your Lulu just died. This is gonna get you killed. Lulu's dead. He's gonna rotate over. Even though he's low, he's got his heal and he's maxing it first. Annie just disappeared, so Annie's right here in the fog of war. You're dead if you're probably gonna have to flash this wall or you're dead. Okay, so as soon as Quinn showed up here, you had no business being here. If you get seen while counter jungling, you need to just... Well, if you get seen while counter jungling, if you have lane pressure, then you're fine. But your top lane just died, so you have no lane pressure. And Annie also had a free chance to just walk. You don't need to counter jungle as Udyr. Quinn is a really strong 1v1 jungler, especially against a melee matchup. She should be dead here. She was overextended. Okay, you're pinging dragon, which I think is good. You should drop a ward. You don't have a ward. I think that the green smite, the warding smite, is super underrated, especially as Udyr, because Udyr wants to be in people's camps all the time. Your Blitzcrank is super good, by the way. You need to be playing around him more. Okay, unfortunately, probably... You can still get dragon, actually. Because Zed's here, you can get dragon. You can solo it while he just keeps people off, but Zed's gonna be a retard. Now that Zed's gone, you're probably gonna get killed here. Looks like Annie doesn't know that you're doing it either. Okay, overall, that fight there wasn't terrible. I think you did the right stuff there. You should take your Krugs and then back. You're probably sitting on another nice stack of gold. 1700 gold is enough to get like your 2 components of your ZZ Rot portal. I would definitely just clear this and back immediately. If you try and force a fight here, the only way you're going to win this fight here is if one of them is way out of position. But when Kalista has ult, it's a lot harder for her to be out of position. So I would just take these Krugs and back. You don't need to take this. Get that on your way back. It's going to take you about 10 seconds to walk up there. And it's going to take you about 22 seconds to walk from base to there. I think it's better to just get your power spike sooner than going right up to here. You should definitely back now. I have no idea what you're building. It looks like you're building Iceborne, which looks like you're not going for the split push Udyr build. You're going for the older school Udyr build. I know in North America, ZZ Rot Portal is super popular on Udyr, and I really like it as a second item. Oh, she was super out of it. That was a really good prediction. That was a really good spot for you to be. Yeah, that was a good call, good play. Taking this is definitely nice. You should be switching to turtle stance. You just need to run. He's stronger than you. He's stronger than you. You need to run. He's playing a Bruiser Rengar build right now, which is super, like really way stronger 1v1 than most people realize. Okay, what I would do here is clear these 2 camps and back, so that this top side of them, because right now, because she's pushed in so much, because of that teleport play or whatever, because Rengar came mid, just clear the top side of your map so that you can back, and you won't have to be top. Yeah, you're wasting about 20 seconds for that one creep. You don't really need to be here. And now you're wasting time. Yeah, you should have just cleared the top side of your jungle. All you gained, like, you literally wasted 22 seconds to gain 1 caster minion that the tower would have just killed. At least take your Gromp and then back. Okay, back immediately. You're too low to make any plays. You don't have any business taking the Scuttle Crab. You're too low. With him right here, if he sees you on a ward, like if any of this was warded, he would have ulted immediately. Well, he's out of ult, but you still don't really have much business coming to take this. Overall, I guess you got it, so now you should back. You're wasting time. Okay, you're going for Iceborne. A fight just exploded while you're backed. That's unfortunate. What you need to realize now, they got their pick. They're done fighting. They got their pick, so they're going to be sieging mid or bottom. These objectives are not up yet, so their team is probably going to be sieging mid. So if you want, you can quickly clear this, but then immediately go mid to defend it. But you need to be mid very shortly because they got a pick, which means they killed one of your team for free. So you need to be here to stop them from shoving it. Instead, you're wasting time. You're going to give Annie this turret for free. Okay. Okay, I want you to... I'm going to force you to watch these 15 seconds. Okay, so Zed just died. Quinn is stepping on a ward. Annie's stepping in front of the turret. Watch what you do. You do this stupid little ring around the rosy of your red buff. You don't take this, which would have been good option number 1. You don't defend this, which would have been good option number 2. You don't take Krugs, which would have been bad option number 1. And you don't force this 2v2, which would have been bad option number 2. What you do is the complete most terrible option number 4 or 5, whatever, which is just run around here and get nothing done. So you do nothing. You do nothing. Meanwhile, they got a free turret because of your indecision. This fight here that's still going on, you didn't join it to help guarantee a kill, and you don't have this camp. So you gained absolutely nothing for the last 20 seconds of kind of being a dumbass, whereas you could have at least gotten a camp, or you could have at least forced this fight that's still going on for 20 seconds now, or you could have stopped a turret. And it's that level of indecision that is going to keep you in gold 5. Okay, you needed to have seen that. I just saw that because I have the natural habit of always watching you and the minimap, and I do this in my own games. You needed to have seen both Quinn and Annie step over this ward, which means two things. You need to immediately ping them off of the wave, and you need to immediately join that collapse. You don't have anything to gain here because there's no turret. So you don't have anything to really gain in here because there's no jungle camps that are really worthwhile. So you need to use your fast move speed as Udyr to come around the back of Dragon and catch them. So you should have seen them step on this ward. You're wasting time. They're going to die now. That was funny. And she flashed to the camps. That's cute. This is not worth anything. Okay, what you're gonna do? Okay, you're gonna get the tower. I guess that. I guess because you're a devourer, Udyr, you got the tower, and I'm just not used to the speed that he takes towers. So okay, that. All in all, I guess you made a good call. If they're gonna make a play bottom, you should make a play mid. So I'm going to take back. This is definitely a bad thing. You're going to get collapsed on and die here. Take your cake. Take this. Run this way. Look at how pushed this lane is. Remember what I said earlier about you have no business being super forward and aggressive if you don't have lane pressure. Well, you did have lane pressure down bot, but that brought 2 of them bot. But you don't have lane pressure up top because Lulu is dead 7 times now. So what you need to do is not the greedy thing because you don't have lane pressure anymore. You did have lane pressure 40 seconds ago down here, which gave you the opportunity to make this play. You no longer have lane pressure whatsoever, and you're going to die because you're making an aggressive move without any real reason to. So congratulations, you got 4 creeps. You missed 2 creeps and died. So what you did, you got 4 creeps. The trade-off was you died. And you burned flash. So basically what you did was you made a good play into a shit play. Your team has a lot of Iceborne gauntlets. It just tells you the Adam's too strong. Okay, Okay, this is a team fight item. In the post, you said that you were complaining about your team not being good at team fighting. Like, you want to never team fight, but you're buying a team fight item. So just make sure that you understand the oxymoron there. Because their team has the advantage, you're doing the right thing. You're fine. You should have stayed next to your carry. You shouldn't have, like, because you're a tank, you need to, like, stand next to Zed rather than run away from Zed. You played that fight a little bit wrong, but it was 2 for 1, so... and you're doing the right thing now, which is just, you're too low, but you can still clear waves for free. Go take Dragon. I think you played that fight fine. I would have liked for you to, like, you ran around by Blitzcrank when you should have ran around by Zed and Ezreal, because you know that Rengar's gonna ult Zed and Ezreal. Okay, you're committing heavily to farm, but I think that's okay because you're Devourer. Unfortunately, what they've done is they've brought 4 people bottom while you're committing to farm. Okay, so your team... This fight's gonna be lost. I'm just trying to decide what's best. I do not think that you're gonna get this. Because especially because what you're doing is you're actually trying to trade 1 turret for 2. Yeah, this is a super important turret. I don't think that you have a big enough wave here to really aggressively push this. So I think what you're going to accomplish is he's going to take this, they're going to take this, they're going to keep pushing forward, and he's going to back before you can get to the turret. So I don't think this is the best decision. And I think in general, a little bit more defensive is better than a little bit more aggressive. Let's see if you get it. I haven't played Devour Udyr in enough time. It looks like you do get it, so it looks like you did make the right call. Yeah, that was nice. That was nice. I'll take back my criticisms against it. You traded the mid inhibitor turret for the 2 side lane turrets. I just haven't played enough Devour Udyr to really know the power spikes anymore. So you're going for Trinity Force, which I guess is good because your team has so many Iceborns anyway. I think getting a Trinity Force is the right option here. Okay, one of the things you mentioned was your commitment to split pushing and having your team not get picked. But you need to realize their team comp is designed to get picks. Annie has flash ult. He's got ult. She can ult in Nautilus. Nautilus has hook. Nautilus has ult. Quinn has her fast as shit bird stance. This is not a team comp that you want to be split pushing in the mid game against, unfortunately, because this is a team comp that wants to engage a fight and stay in the fight because they've got so many re-engage options. Nautilus ult is engaged number 1, Kalista ult is engaged number 2. Actually, Rengar ult is probably engaged number 1, followed up by this engaged number 2, engaged number 3. Annie ult is engaged number 4. Meanwhile, Quinn will just keep catching people out of position. So unfortunately, I think that you shouldn't be here unless your team is safely in a lane with vision. You haven't helped contribute to the vision because you went for this greedy smite item. And their team has just had the playmaking advantage in all of this game because Ezreal has been playing so weirdly and Lulu has just been bad. So I don't think that this is a game that you can win by split pushing, at least until you help your team get a pick. And once your team gets a pick so that it's a 5v4, I think then you can split push. Yeah, you've got a cool wave working with you here, But I bet you that your team's gonna die. Your three of your teammates are gonna die right here because their team comp is so set up to kill and to engage and stick to a fight. So there's 1, 2, 3. Meanwhile, you've gained really nothing. Now that it's a 2v5, you have no business being here. They're gonna take these two for free unless you go and immediately help them. This is not a time for you to be split pushing anymore. So you're trading a tier 1 outer lane turret for your inhibitor. This is not the time to be split pushing because they're going to get an inhibitor for free, and you cannot split push when you have an inhibitor down. Sorry, but your team made the misposition here. You can't even really blame it for a misposition. Their team played their team comp well, which is engage, 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 engage. As soon as that happened, you should have just realized when you were here, shit, I need to go defend. So now what you did was you traded this and this. So you got 2 side lane turrets for 1, 2, 3 structures instead. Such a bad decision. And now you can't split push for the rest of the game because your mid inhibitor's gone. They're going to continue to have minions crash into your base. If you're out here, when the rest of your team is up here trying to defend your base, you're going to continue to die. So now that the inhibitor's gone, your only option is to group and defend objectives until your inhibitor is up. I don't think that this was the wrong time to be split pushing. You're not going to get this inhibitor. Yeah, wrong time to be split pushing, man. That was your fault. You can't blame that on them. They regrouped and they still died because if you look at the enemy's team comp, that's what's going to continue to happen. This death, like this is your fault. This right here is your fault. I hope you can get away from this, but I doubt it because you're out of mana. Yeah. So I hope you understand why that was your fault. Okay, you're back alive. You've got Trinity Force. You're finally going for ZZ Rot Portal. Okay, they're in the wrong spot. I'm trying to decide what I would do in this game. What I would have done in the first place was not split pushed, but I know that your focus is still to split push, but you need to understand that you can't at this point when your team is so far behind. You can't at this point when their team comp is designed so strongly to catch up and stick to you. You just need to realize that you have to be grouped. You have to be grouped. Their team can't really get anything because like all of your outer turrets are dead. So just be grouped until someone makes a misposition, and then you can engage. But they're going to continue to get picked off because of the ridiculously strong engage on the enemy team. Instead, you're up here. I guess clearing blue isn't bad, but you need to make sure that they're safe here. Okay, what the shit? Why did you leave that alive? Okay, so you killed their jungler and their top. Unfortunately, you guys can't capitalize on that anymore because of this inhibitor. If this inhibitor was still alive, you guys could have gone and 4-manned the Baron because they lost their top and their jungler, and without a jungler they can't smite the Baron. So, because of this getting killed, you guys don't really have anything. what you can do as the Miracle Udyr split pusher is probably just go and try and solo this inhibitor in the next 50 seconds. That's probably what I would do as like the Hail Mary play, is try and get this down, because I think that's your only option. I bet you what you're going to do is you're just going to push up the lane for no reason. You should be just here. You would already have been here by now. Whoever on their team just killed the dragon is now up here to stop you. So you can't really get anything anymore. That was a bad decision. I'm going to force you to watch that again. So you're trying to 1v1 an AD carry, the most mobile AD carry in the game. Also, as a split pusher, you have to. It is absolutely your job to push tab and look at the death timers. He just came up. He's got home guard boots. She's almost up. She's fast as fuck with her bird stance. This is you dying in the next 6 seconds by the time Rengar comes to join her. So either you can kill her faster than 6 seconds, or you just need to run away. Instead, you overcommit, you get hooked, you get snared. Hey look, Rengar's in to kill you. That was your mistake for not looking at the death timers. Now I have to skip 50 seconds of gameplay until you're back. Okay, you're almost up and they're positioning for Baron, so you need to go up to Baron. You just need to go get vision on Baron. You don't really need to force a fight. You just need to get vision on Baron. Okay, so your team got 2. Your team got 3, so you need these are yours to take. You need to kill all of these. You and your team need to kill these. So it looks like you're doing the right thing. Just get this and then run. Just get this and then run. Actually, yeah, I don't think you guys can end it because you don't have a minion wave. It's like all the way back here. So you should just run. You should just run. What you should do is go push this up to this tower and take it. You're not going to be able to get this. Quinn's got enough wave clear and Annie's back. So, oh god. If you die here, I'm going to be pissed. That means you make the same mistake twice in a row. Annie just spawned. Nautilus just spawned. You're a dead Udyr. I'm pissed. That pisses me off. Same mistake twice in a row. You really need to push tab. What you could have done was push this up to here. Instead of trying to make this little childish play to get this, you should have just... This wave is gigantic. If you had been here before Quinn, then that would have been a dead turret. Okay, because you're bottom lane, they get in Baron for free. Okay, I'm respawning back to... You're still dead. You're dead for 6 seconds. He just showed around Baron. That's where you need to be. You guys have 2 inhibitor turrets. This one here doesn't matter anymore. Getting the 3rd inhibitor doesn't really make that much of a difference. When you have 2 inhibitors, just Baron dance. Just keep all 5 of them here at Baron, stopping you from potentially Baroning. You're not actually going to need to Baron. You just need to threaten the Baron. What you do instead is you come bottom and you allow this 5v4 against your favor to happen here. I bet you this is what loses you the game. Okay, here's another thing you need to realize. You just spawned right when Rengar died. As a jungler, it's your job to translate a pick into the most favorable objective you can. Usually the best objectives are inhibitors, then Baron, then Dragon. So if you can take an inhibitor from a 4v5, then take it, but you can't because you already took them. You're running bottom for no goddamn reason. Your team got a pick, you need to be a Baron right now. If you get this Baron, you win the game. Instead, you're going to go greedily farm this for no reason. Your team started Baron without their tank. Your team started Baron without their jungler because their jungler was being a greedy ass down here in the bottom lane. Like, I don't really mean to be super hard on you, but you need to see this from the perspective of, say, your Ezreal, or the perspective of, say, your Blitzcrank, who has been landing God hooks all game, but his jungler doesn't want to make plays with him. You have to take this play that you guys made on Rengar and take the real objective. This is another trade, quote unquote, that you're making. Your split push trade, you might get this turret, but they're gonna get Baron because they have a jungler here in the Baron pit. Actually, if I was their team, I wouldn't get Baron. I would just get this frickin' inhibitor. If I was this Quinn, this inhibitor would be dead. God. Okay, so Quinn did the right thing. That was a nice position. Okay. Same old song and dance. 5v4. Your team has the advantage. Quinn's dead. What are you going to do? Are you going to go bottom lane and split push nothing? Are you going to go to the inhibitors? They're about to respawn. Or are you going to go with your team to Baron and end the game? Please, 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 dear God, go to the Baron right now. Please. Please. Your team's gonna Baron without you. Okay, now you're God freaking. So you're gonna solo Dragon for the third Dragon buff, which is worthless. There's 3 inhibitors down. There is no way this game is gonna last 18 more minutes for your 5th Dragon stack. What you need to do is take Baron and win the game. Your team has had good vision around Baron now. You have enough vision to go take it. And not only that, you traded Dragon for your life, so they're gonna get Baron from this play. If their team is any good. God, their Rengar's almost as bad. He's making almost as many bad decisions as you. Okay, they're gonna get Baron from this, I think. No, their Quinn died somehow. Okay. Back at it all again. You have the right to be split pushing now, at least until your team spawns. So you've got 26 seconds of split pushing that you're allowed to do, at which point you need to be trying to make better plays than split pushing plays. I don't like being a split pusher on a jungler because I don't have teleport, which means if I'm in the wrong spot, then you're screwed. If you love split pushers, maybe you play top lane. Split push Udyr is still good. Split push jungling is still good, but it requires making smarter plays. You're strong enough to duel him 1v1. Another thing you haven't done in a long time is dropped your Zerat portal. I don't know if you've ever dropped it. I'm too worried about the bad split push decisions, but you need to be dropping your Zerat portal somewhere. You need to fight that. They dropped a lot of cooldowns to go try and kill you. Okay, I'm not even gonna comment. Like, you guys are gonna lose this fight now. No, it looks like you're even gonna win this fight. You are too focused on split pushing. You need to be deciding when a fight is favorable. Like if you watch any of the LCS games, you're European, so I don't know of any European teams that really love the split push. Okay, you don't need to take this wave. It's 4 people dead. Just take this inhibitor. That wave is useless. Anyway, you need to watch. Like, if you watch the North American LCS, CLG is the team that always uses the split push strategy. Watch some CLG games. Watch specifically X Smithy, who plays Udyr a lot. You're doing nothing. You're wasting time. You're wasting time. Are you gonna do this 3 times in one game? Looks like it. You got your Zed killed. That was all your fault. That was literally your fault. Okay. Well, something's gonna happen in the next 4 minutes. Let's see what it is. They got Baron because their team did what their team should have done, which was get a pick on Zed and get a frickin' objective, because their jungler plays by the rules of jungling, which is get a pick and take an objective, because she knows what she's doing, so she did that. She took Baron. Baron's gonna win them the game. These inhibitors don't frickin' mean anything against Baron minions, so they're gonna take this. They're gonna get an extra couple of kills because your team was trying to stop them from Baroning, and with these extra couple of kills, you guys are gonna lose. See what I said about engage and re-engage and re-engage and that their team comp is super good at engage, re-engage, 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 re-engage. This is like your little Hail Mary play. It might work, but I doubt it. Meanwhile, yeah. Okay, so as we stare at the defeat, I was going to say victory for the red team, but as we stare at this screen, I want to focus on, I like to go good, bad, good, because you deserve praise of the good things you did, and I think the best thing you did in this game, you were in many of the right places at the right time. Your pathing tended to be pretty good. You had a really good path down here at, like, Ezreal was about to get tower dive, so Ezreal came back and flashed, and you joined them, and it was the 3v2, Blitzcrank, Udyr, Ezreal versus Nautilus, Kalista. That was good. You were in the right place at the right time. Later, you made a good gank up in this area, because, it was up here. Quinn was coming around this here. She was about to jump onto Zed, but you stunned her. Right place in the right time. Good idea. I like that. Being right here with this Quinn, walking over through the bush, you were in the right place at the right time. So you have this sense of being in the right spot, and it's working out for you sometimes. So I want to praise that. I think you know the worst thing in this game that you did. Maybe you don't. Maybe you think your teammates suck and they won't let you do your job, which is split push. But what you need to realize is the job of a split pusher is not to always split push. And that's why I said you should probably watch some CLG games in the North American LCS, because their strategy is almost always split push. Their jungler, X-Smithy, plays Udyr, and their top lane, Darshan, often plays a split pusher like Jax or Fiora. But they're not always split pushing. And what they do is they split push to take an objective, and then they back off. They know how to correctly control the risk versus the reward. Many times you are going for exceptionally high risk plays with no reward in exchange. The first bad split push you made was they ended up with a good team fight here. Their team did, not your team. It was a 5v3 here. You guys got triple killed. You were split pushing up around this corner. That's a high risk play. You're risking your inhibitor and your base turret. So understand the risk there. It's like gambling. You're trying to buy in your entire base for this play. It's also a low reward play. What you would have gained from it was this turret. Maybe this one, but probably only this one. So you're risking a lot in the form of your whole base with no reward on the outcome. And then sometimes you're going for low reward when the high reward plays punching your team in the face. Your team gets 3 different times your team got a pick on the Rengar right here. You need to go for the high reward play from that, which is Baron. You don't need to go for the low reward play. So you have to better capitalize on these picks. The highest reward play is an inhibitor or Baron. Taking an outer turret like these two is not a good reward from a pick in the mid game. So I think overall this game came down to you making the wrong decisions at the wrong times. Your teams didn't really they played fine. They weren't playing god tier. They were not pros. They were typical gold players. They were fine. You need to realize that in a game like this, like if you're split pushing against this team comp, you need to be split pushing smart because all 5 of these people want to engage a team fight. So, or at least they want to engage some sort of chaos that'll screw your team up. So it hurts to see this loss. I hate to say it, but I think a lot of it is yours. You were down here soloing Dragon when what you could have done was taken Baron with your team. You were down here pushing bot lane when what you could have done was taken Baron with your team. You were up here trying to push these 3 turrets top lane when what you should have done was defended with your team. So, I hate to say it, but I think these are mistakes that you made. I think the good news, though, is you've got, these are fatal mistakes. But you're doing strongly even with these fatal mistakes, which means once you fix them, I really think that you'll be able to climb much faster than you even expect you can, because your only real mistakes are something that's easy to fix. You just have to make better decisions, and making decisions is not something you have to spend 50 hours in a custom game practicing. You just have to look at the minimap more often, and you have to push tab and look at the death timers more often. So overall, I hope to see, if you want to show me more games, that's fine. I hope to see better games in the future, and good luck in continuing to build on these games.